Hello, Flosstube. This is Stasha, week and a half post-hysterectomy, and honestly, I am doing great. Yeah, I got my granny glasses on today because I've got notes that I'm reading from. So, in off the grid, in Friday Off the Grid, somebody mentioned that they were interested in scroll frames. I said, well, let me tell you the different kinds I've got. So the first I've got is American Dream. So the nice thing about American Dream, if I can get the needle minder to let go, is they have the nice oak ends. So there are some of the things you need to be careful with your scroll rods is when you get a scroll frame, you need to watch, is it the screw-in kind or the clamp-on kind? American Dream is the screw-on kind. They have nice wood knobs. I've got an oak frame on that. And the American Dream attachment system is actually Velcro, but I only had one half of the Velcro, so I just went ahead and basted it on. So most of them are a based-on system, with the exception of some of the really cheap ones are a clamp-on system, but we'll go over that. So this is American Dream. Normally you would take the Velcro tape and just attach it and attach your fabric, and the Velcro sticks on. You don't have to worry about sewing it on your fabric. You don't have to worry about trying to unbaste it when you're done. But this is the American Dream scroll rod with the nylon. That's the one half of the Velcro stuff. So that's, anyway, that. So next one I'm going to go over is Kay's Creations. So this is my Kay's Creations lap stand. You can see it's a nice canvas, really easy to baste the fabric on. It uses, they're not wood, but frankly, sometimes they're easier to screw because it's just really easy to twist. You can spin it. The wood ones sometimes don't spin as well. I love Kay's Creations. So you can find Kay's Creations on Amazon as well as buy them direct from Kay's. And that's the floor stand. Not floor stand. That's the lap stand actually. So got it a little too tight. Okay, there. No, I know what happened. My husband, I put it away when the varnish was still wet. My husband varnished it for me. So I'm going to have him, I was going to open it up for you, but I'm going to have him unstick where he varnished, and it got closed. So Kay's Creations comes unvarnished. Well, you can get it varnished, but it comes unvarnished, so my husband varnished it for me just so that it wouldn't wear. The next set of scroll rods are the kinds you get at Michael's or Joann's. They're called a split rod. They don't screw in, so you need to make sure that the end scroll frames are the clamp-on kind. I tend to find a little more slippage with these, but you stick your fabric in between here, clamp it down, and roll it up. So that's the clamp kind. I have several of the clamp-on as well as several of the screw-on type frames. And with one of my clamp-on frames, I was working on a really long piece, so my husband actually made me a scroll rod. So this is just a 1-inch dowel, piece of muslin folded over, and then tacked in. And I honestly have no idea what my husband used for the nails on that, but there's enough muslin that with a piece on it, it will cover the nails, so I won't ever have to worry about metal fatigue on my the metal rubbing off on my fabric, because the muslin's long enough to cover the nails. So you can also make your own if you get the clamp-on style of end bars. So that's covering the different types of scroll frames. The clamp-on, I'm pretty sure Edmunds. You can get those at Joann's, and you can get those on Amazon. You can get them on Overstock, and they sell them at Michael's. The thing is with the Edmunds, I always sand those because they're really rough, and I've gotten slivers off of them. So if you get one of the $20-$25 scroll frames, plan on sanding, because you don't want splinters and you don't want wood slivers in your stuff. So October. Okay, yeah, it's only 2 weeks since I filmed, but hey, it's now the end of October. Maybe I'm back on schedule for filming at the end of the month. I have 2 finishes this month. Ecology is done. I will not be doing a Pass the Stash on ecology because it is a freebie from Hirschners.com. It's called the Ecology Tote Bag, and you can just go download it from them. It's a freebie. But here's ecology. And ecology is going to get framed and given to my daughter's boss at work, because every year the American Veterinary Association has an auction to raise money for animal care and habitat. And my daughter's works with an exotic vet. So their auction is specifically for wildlife habitat. So that's going to go in the auction once I get it framed. And then last time we talked about prepping a canvas. There's the canvas all finished. This is the American Needlepoint Guild Florentine Heart pattern. I did it in... So the way you pick colors for this one is you find a watercolors and then you pick 5 colors that match that watercolors. I did Autumn Leaves by watercolors, and then those were the pink, the green, the beige, kind of bluey purple, and the burgundy were the ones I picked to go with it. So there's my finished A&G heart. Whips or haul? We'll do whips. So my rotation piece this month was Dragon Ride, and I thought I wouldn't feel good enough after surgery to work on it, but I've still managed to get in several stitches a night, and there are 4 more days left in the month, so we'll see how far I get. You can start to see the outline for the rider, which is done over 1. I don't think I'm going to get to the rider this month, but I should be able to finish, or at least mostly finish the dragon. And then the piece I did get, the piece I started because, okay, I got this Mill Hill kit figuring, oh, during surgery it'd be a great time to work on it because it's got big holes, it'll be easy to do. So I started it, and this is as far as I got. That's just the black floss. Haven't added any beads yet. But I did buy my first tacky bob. And look, the beads don't spill. That's all the Mill Hill beads for that piece. I'm really surprised because they don't spill. They're definitely there. And I'm wondering if I should put the beading needle in with the tacky bob or just keep leaving it out there. I think I'm going to put it in the tacky bob. So beads and beading needle now on the tacky bob. So that's the Mill Hill Beads and Buttons pumpkin. And that's what I got started. That's just one night of work. Okay, I'm sorry, my glasses really bug me. I use those for reading. Yeah, I'm at that age where I have to have reading glasses. However, this month I did discover Off the Grid. Operative Needle Arts, and Sunday High Tea. So this is my Sunday High Tea start, Thanksgiving medley. Now the fun thing is, last August is when I bought this up at Shepherd's Bush. And if you know Terry at Shepherd's Bush, they don't do anything in the called for colors. And since I'm doing this on jute, which is a 12 count fabric, and you're doing it over 2, so it ends up being 6 stitches to the inch. So anyway, that's how much I've gotten done. And since I'm using such a large fabric, I'm using pearl cotton number 5. These are the fibers. And Weeks Dye Works also makes a pearl number 5. Oh, no, excuse me, pearl number 3. That's bigger than 5. So I'm using a pearl number 3 on these because when you're doing 6 stitches to the inch, it's really big. So, but that's 1/4 of the way done. Next thing to do is the pilgrim hat. It's New World, New Friends, New Harvest. The thing is, when you do it that big, the called for buttons don't work. So I'm going to have to find something if I want to do the buttons on it. Or maybe I'll figure out something else to do. Maybe I'll just leave it empty space, because sometimes negative space can be very fulfilling. Okay, so there's that. So haul. I got my shipment from McKenna's Attic Needlework. A couple of Christmas ornaments, and of course a carousel horse. And then last weekend, my really good friend Kat Reeder said, "Hey, I'm going up to Shepherd's Bush, let me drive you," because she knows I can't drive right now post-surgery. And I wasn't going to get anything. I really wasn't going to get anything. But I kept coming back to this. It's a drawn thread, and it's done in silk. But Shepherd's Bush didn't have any of the silk. So Terry and I swapped it out to overdyes. And this time, because of the problem I was having with medley, we wrote down all the overdye substitutions, including the ones where we were doing 2 different colors for 2 different things. So a year from now, when I get around to starting this, hopefully I'll remember what I was doing. The other thing that happened this month is my daughter came over and consolidated some of the bins that she has in storage here. And she brought this up and said, "Hey Mom, I must have taken a project from you when I was younger." So, Lace Unicorn by Sunset. I don't know if Sunset is even still in business. Okay, there's the pattern. It is a needlepoint kit. And this is what many years in a bin will look like. Now I need my glasses again. Nope, just standard canvas. I was thinking for a second it looked like Penelope without my glasses, but so this is how much of it is started. Dang, I'm doing a good job. This is the front. There's the needle. Yep, that's the front. So we'll fold it nicely And get it in a project bag so that it's not all crumpled up. Here are the supplies. And I must have bought this in high school because Inkley's has not been around very long. Has not been around for a long time, I should say. So, into the project bag. I don't know when I'm going to restart that one. It's kind of a cool pattern. It's definitely what I was into in high school. So. The instructions are 4 colors: brown, dark gold, light gold, and off-white, and lace. Okay. Instructions and pattern. Sunset needle painting. I wonder if it's copyright Sunset Designs out of Marietta, Georgia. Kit number 6513. I honestly do not know if they are still in business. It doesn't give a copyright year. So now I have 3 projects that I started in high school that have never been finished. So, November plans. So one of the things that I discovered with finishing, so when I finished ecology, I went out to my spreadsheet and went to mark it off and realized I have not followed my stitching plans since April 1st when my job changed, when my job title changed and I started traveling. So at this point it's like there's 2 months left in the year. Do I even want to try and go back onto those stitching plans? Or do I want to just toss it out the window and do whatever? In September and October, I was doing kind of a 1-month rotation. All of September, I worked on Rose Fairy. All of October, I've been working on Dragon Ride. So if I were to keep working on that, the thought is I would pull up Summer Carousel Horse. There's my Summer Carousel Horse. Nicely gridded fabric. It's 40 count linen. I'm working over 2 with 1 strand, and there's a bunch of you going, wait, it's a Teresa Wensler! She's the queen of blended thread. How can you be doing 1 strand? I did an anchor conversion so that the blended threads were converted to a single anchor color so that I could stitch over 1 thread. So if I were to just focus on 1 piece, I would put some serious work in on Summer Carousel Horse. However, if I were to go back and restart my plans from the beginning of the year, I would be doing at least a month or so of this. This is Into the Jungle, my Into the Jungle stitch along. I would be doing at least 1 more square on Stars for a New Millennium, which I'm looking at this thinking, I may just do 1 more square anyway. We're getting so close. We're talking 7 squares on the border and then we're done. I may work on that. We have The Fabulous Women. You'll notice fabric is not tight on the Q-snaps, it's loose. Frankly, the Q-snaps are kind of wobbly too. This is why I don't like using Q-snaps. I would much rather use a scroll frame, or, you know, I'll even put my cross stitch on needlepoint frames. I don't like the lack of tension. So, but hey, you work with what you can. And where I was taking this traveling with me, Q-snaps travel. Needlepoint frames don't. I could try and finish Tiger Lily. I'm probably not going to be traveling for the rest of the year. So it would be, even though this is my travel piece, I can work on it at home. Nothing says I can't work on it at home. Or, since we're coming into winter, and I could throw the Doctor Who quilt on my lap, I could work on embroidering these. So there's still 4 days left of the month. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see me working on, what progress you'd like to see, I'm probably still going to keep working on Thanksgiving medley. I mean, if I just worked on that on Sunday nights, I could probably finish it before the end of the month. So, what would you like to see me work on? Go ahead and leave that in the comments, and I still haven't decided how I'm going to decide. Whether I'm going to try and work on summer carousel horse, or go back to my original rotation plans, or just throw something into the decision wheel and see what comes up. The other option I have is I have Mirabilia's Summer Queen. So there's Summer Queen. However, those colors look more winter than summer to me. So I have swapped out the teals for greens, because I figured if she was more green, she'd be more summery. So I could start that. There's all my color conversions. I know I've talked about it before, but basically I've got 3 kids and I wanted to do 3 different seasonal pieces. So I'm doing the carousel horses, the seasonal queens, and then the Joan Elliott fairies are what I'm doing for light. So I've finished the winter carousel horse, I've finished autumn queen. Rose Fairy is going to be the summer fairy for that series. But I've started the other 3 carousel horses. I haven't started any of the other queens, and I haven't started any of the other fairies. So I'm feeling kind of a little behind on those, but hey, it's my hobby. If I get them done, I get them done. If I don't, well, I guess they don't inherit them. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And I appreciate your watching. I'll get this uploaded real quick. Yes, I know I do them live. I don't edit. But when I did the actual live casting, everything was reversed. And it just really freaked me out when I did watch it. So I will get this uploaded as soon as I hit stop here, and I will post it to Friday Off the Grid, where people were asking about scroll frames. So thanks everybody, and this is Stasha saying goodnight, and see you in November. Enjoy the holidays that are coming up, and remember, you don't need to stress over the holidays. People are going to love you even if you don't give them tons of stuff. And if they don't, you got bigger problems going on. Thanks, guys. Bye.